And we are live. Welcome back, guys, to Real Talk with Andres and Heather. I am Heather. This is Andres.
Welcome back. Great to be back, Heather. It's been a minute, huh?
It has been a minute, definitely, but it's been for good reason, not just because, we're slacking off and lazy and doing nothing and decided to say, nah, for the podcast. It's been for a good reason.
Absolutely. I think so many great things have happened for the past 2, 3 months, 4 months, right? I think it's just been amazing when you focus your energy on the right things, how things change and the things that you're able to do. So, very blessed to be here, very blessed to be back. So grateful to be back. And man, so excited for what's ahead. And we're going to talk about all of that in just a little bit. But man, it's been such a blessing the past 4 months, and man, excited.
It really has been. And things have still, I know we talked about it a little bit before we went on our hiatus, I guess you could say, but the technology and just the AI industry has been going crazy lately. So there's been a lot of technology changes. There's been a lot of updates. There's been a lot of people left behind. Um, and it's affecting a lot of businesses lately. You're kind of like either adapt or get left behind now with technology.
And this is just getting started. Like it's drastically changing on, like you mentioned, on a daily basis, weekly basis. You see new things coming out, and all different, affecting all type of businesses, right? And we see it a lot. It's a matter of integrating the technology in areas of your business where now you can do the job of 3 to 5 people, uh, and using the technology that is accessible to you. Of course, it's not going to replace humans in some areas, but it can definitely enhance what you're capable of doing on a daily basis. So, and we're excited to be part of that and put some of this out there. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I am definitely exciting, definitely great to change to a certain extent the way things are done. I know my family's biggest complaint probably for like the last over a year, but definitely was that I was always working, always on the computer, always working, never like doing what they were doing. Um, and one thing that with technology I've been able to change is I can now control my computer without being at my computer. I can control my computer or my CRM basically when my computer is off. I don't have to be sitting here at the CRM to necessarily manage the CRM. And then I have my technology set up in such a way where two kind of different sets of things. But one of them is I can control my computer without being at my computer. So that's really cool because I have bots now that will work on things for me and I can control that from my phone. So like yesterday, just to give you an example, yesterday I was with Tony. We went out, we went to the store, we went to a couple different stores shopping. We went to the pharmacy, pick up some medicine. I went and ran some other errands with him. And the whole time I was working. I was working on the stuff for us, but I was doing it from my phone, which is nice because I got to go spend time with him. And that's something that just a couple months ago wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, and like you said, just a couple of months ago, it sounds like it's so advanced in just those few months. And I certainly want to dive in so later on we can show the audience, some of the things that you're capable of doing, and that you're able to do just from your phone that usually a few months ago, like you mentioned, require you to be sitting on your desk in order to get it done. Um, so certainly we want to dive into that and show people more clarity on what that looks like, because as you mentioned, I'm still trying to make sense of things like what do you mean you're able to control your computer from your phone? What do you mean you're no longer are doing things from your desk that require you to be sitting on your desk to get it done? These are questions that I want to envision. I want to see it happening. I want to see it through because what is your type of business? And can it be applied to other businesses, right? Uh, Given the technology and how accessible it is, but yet using it the right way and creating the tools the right way for what you need is a whole different thing.
Well, right now, and I don't want to mention any direct names, but I will say right now the latest craze is the AI assistants or helpers that can do certain things for you. And if you know, you know, there's a lot of big ones out there that everybody's trying to use. And what these AI assistants can do, bots, if you want to call them that, is they can control your computer. They can control things for you, depending on how much access you give them. Some of them are extremely hard to set up if you're not tech savvy. Some of them are pretty easy to set up because of programs that are offered. They say like one click install and then they're set up. The thing is, if you don't understand what you're doing, if you don't know how to use them, you're actually opening yourself up for a lot of liability. And some of them just kind of they can really take control of your computer and do whatever you want to do. And that opens yourself up to a lot of exposure and a lot of risk, especially if they're not sandboxed into a specific area. So that technology wise, you could just like have one of these if you know how to set it up on your computer and be like, hey, go do this, and it can. However, if you're not babysitting it and making sure it's doing it correctly, and you leave and you come back, it can have done whatever it wanted to do because there's no like safety measures set up in place and it has access to everything. So what we've done is we like that idea, right? We were like, hey, we like the idea of being able to like set and walk away and it handle things for us, but also knowing that there's a lot of information that you don't necessarily want it to be able to have or give out or, you know, have access to. So we try to come up with a way that limits what it can do, but doesn't limit what it can do.
Interesting. So it limits what it can do, but doesn't limit. And with that, it's interesting. It's mind-boggling because, like I said, there's so much to it on the back end that needs to be looked into, depending on what you need it to do, right? And it's not as easy as it sounds, right? If I want this, if I'm not a technology savvy, like I said, I cannot just plug in and get it to do what I wanted to do. There's a lot more to it than that. But you're saying that you put something together that essentially it's a plugin and it's safe. Like to put it, to cut down the words and make it short, it's plug in, you can connect your business, and it already has a lot of those safety features that would allow me to get things running as soon as possible in my business without me having to worry about everything that goes on in the background. Did I hear that right?
Safe-ish. Let's make sure we put the ish there. There's always going to be that you're working with advanced technology. It is self-improving. So you have to keep in mind that while we're working with this AI technology and whatever technology you're using for its brain, even the companies that are releasing this AI, the platforms, the LLMs, they're saying, you know, user beware, this is new stuff. Like, for example, they released Fables 5. It was supposed to be available until the 20th. I think you remember when I was like, hey, we have this, so I'm going to be like using this until we don't have it in our, you know, thing anymore. Yeah. And ultimately I had it for, I think 3 days. And then the government took it away. The government told Anthropic, yeah, no, we're going to snatch that away from everybody right now because we don't think it's necessarily safe and it's, you know, high risk. So my plan was to use it until we didn't have it anymore and then be very upset and sad and probably cry myself to sleep. But that got cut short. So we only had it for a couple of days. And the thing is, it's like this stuff is so fast changing. It's so, it's not new, but it's new to us. So since it's new to us, it's not something we've had. We're still learning the guardrails. So we've put the safety measures in place that we can put in place. If you use technology like this, you need to be aware that you are using technology like this, and you need to make sure that you have your safeguards in place, and you understand that, hey, this is still technology that is evolving. It's constantly evolving. But as far as making it safe in the aspect of, if you put this on your like if you open this up and you download a program and you have it on your screen, is it going to, not download, I guess install would be the better word, is it going to like steal all my stuff? No, because it's sandboxing. It's not going to leave the program that it's at. It's not, you don't necessarily need a Mac Mini for this one because you can't have it on your regular computer. You don't even have to have a VPS for this. This is for somebody who has a CRM or who wants a CRM, and they're looking to have that managed 24/7 without having to be at their computer. So let me ask you this, actually, Andres, right now. If you don't have Glitch, I know you already have your setup, but pre-Glitch, you didn't have Glitch, and you have a meeting with somebody at a coffee shop, okay? You meet somebody at a coffee shop. You get their business card. What do you have to do to like start the lead process with that? You have this business card. What's your next step? What are you going to do?
Well, normally if I have my computer available, right, or add the contact on my phone, put some notes on there. If I wasn't taking notes particularly, then trying to remember everything that I can right away, and send myself an email so that I can upload that into the CRM, or do all that in the CRM if I'm able to do so through an app that my CRM has. Now, I'll be honest with you, not always I was using the CRM. I was using the CRM right away to upload all the context, which is part of the reason why, as agents, we lose a lot of business. We're not using the CRM the ways that we should. Um, but and you want to rely on your memory, which is not always a great thing, right? So I think it's always key to send myself some notes so that I have all those notes. And then upload into the CRM accordingly when I have more time or when it's accessible to me, and do so. So that was the usual process.
How long do you think, like, let's say you got that business card at like 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, right? And then if you, I don't know, you're like busy that day, you're out, you're doing showings, and then you get home and it's, you're doing your computer work because, that's how it is. If you're an agent, you're out during the day and then you have to get back to your computer. Then you have to sit down and do all your computer work. You forget to put that card in. And then the next day you're out and you're like reaching into your coat pocket to get something and you find the card and you're like, oh shit, I forgot to put this into the CRM. I got to remember to do that. Has there been times where you've forgotten to put in a lead?
Oh yeah, there's been a number of times where actually get the lead from an open house too, and don't upload into the CRM right away. And next thing you know, you're going through these documents. They're like, oh shit, I forgot to follow up to these people. They were looking to buy within the next 60 days. And you reach out to them a month later because you finally found a document where they sign up and you didn't upload it on time to the CRM or put any notes or any reminders to follow up with them. So yes, it has happened. And guess what? That's business loss because they found somebody else. They visited another open house, and that other agent was on top of it and got them the house that they were looking for.
What, you mean that other agent wasn't like, oh wait, no, Andres got their business cards a couple days ago, so I should just hold off and wait until he adds them to the CRM and follows up?
Yeah, Andres, who? Yeah, exactly that one. So yes, it has happened, and that's unfortunate because we rely so much on memory and getting things done rather than executing right away. And part of that is one, habits, systems in place. Two, the tools that we have accessible to be able to get some of these things done right away.
And that's exactly the process that we had in mind when we were creating Glitch. We were like, we had talked to hundreds of agents, and the same, it kept coming back to the same thing as, I have the CRM. I don't really use the CRM. The CRM is confusing. It takes up too much time. I already have one with my brokerage. I already have one with the company that I'm with. If they're not a real estate agent, I don't want to learn another CRM. And that's where Glitch comes in. So imagine now, Andres, if instead of throwing that card in your wallet, in your briefcase, or your pocket, whatever you do with somebody's information when you get it, what if you simply took your phone, took a picture of that card, uploaded it to your app, and said, "Hey, Glitch, create a new contact for this card, enrich this contact for me, and send a welcome package." And then what would happen is Glitch would take that card, pull the information from it, create a contact for you. Then he would scrub that contact. Basically, what that means is Glitch would then do a social scrub. He would look and try to pull all the information he could find for that contact and enhance any information that you already have to make it more fuller, more richer for that contact. And then he would send them your welcome package. Maybe your welcome package is an email and a text message saying, "Hey, this is who I am. This is what we do. This is what we can offer you." And then next steps to get, maybe it's your buyer's package or your seller's package if you're an email agent, or if you're a tutor, maybe it's the package that you have for them to choose from as far as like times, maybe it's your calendar, your booking link, whatever it is, send to them, get them in your pipeline, and then they're automatically scheduled for follow-ups. And all of this is done just simply by you taking a picture and sending it to Glitch and saying, "Hey, Glitch, do this."
Wow. And I just noticed that part of scrubbing and telling you information about the lead. Because I'll be honest, I just uploaded a couple of leads on my account. And he gave me the feedback like, "Hey, I found this, and that about that person. I updated your information." I was like, "Oh shit." Nice.
It's like your own personal little stalker.
So I'm definitely on board with that because that is a game changer. Just the fact that you can take a picture and you can send it a voice note, a text message, and say, "Hey, can you do this and do that?" Because I've uploaded already about 15, 20 leads and say, "Hey, here's a number of leads from an open house. Can you upload and tag in my quarterly?" And it did that in minutes. What used to take me 30 minutes to an hour going through the list, going through the context, adding all that information, adding the notes. Now it takes me a few seconds.
And that's the beautiful thing about him, is that he's there to work for you around the clock, save you time, and that way you're able to go do things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do, or you're able to actually engage in the business part of your business that makes you money, and not the behind the scenes part that nobody wants to do. So a lot of times it gets pushed to the back burner, and that really makes your business suffer. Especially with leads coming in. If every lead that's coming in is not getting spoken to, is not getting talked to, it's not getting followed up with, you're leaving business and money on the table. And then if everything just is, nothing's written down, nothing's getting kept in track of, it all just lives in your head, you're going to forget stuff. You're not going to remember everything. Things are going to fall through the cracks.
Oh yeah, I get in trouble all the time for not doing things around the house that I forget. Maybe it's intentionally, but I still get in trouble. One thing I was gonna say along with that is, it's one feature that I like a lot is the constant reminder of, "Hey, you haven't followed up with this person. I have a draft ready for you." Like that's incredible because it gives me that feedback like, "Hey, you haven't replied to so and so. This seems to be urgent. You need to reply to this person. I got you. Do you want to move forward with this?" I'm like, "Oh damn." It kind of brings you up notice, like, come on, I need to stay on top of this. And now I have this that is a reminder. And not only that, it will send that over for me. It's not something I need to dive in and be on it myself at all times. Now Glitch is that extension of me that is on top of it. And it's a constant reminder to me that, hey, we need to stay on top of it. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
That's one of my favorite features about Glitch too, is that he can draft those for you. And that's part of the whole enriching the contract. He can enrich that contract, find out more stuff about it, and then tell you, "Hey, do you need me to draft a proposal for you? Do you need me to draft a text message for you?" And he gives you those little nudges too. So if you haven't followed up with somebody, he's gonna bug you about it and be like, hey, notice that you've got a cold lead over here, or this one's been quiet for a while. Would you like me to draft up this? Or this is something you could say. So he's giving you those options to push you and nudge you along in your business just to improve what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, we've been in some jobs, right? I've worked in a warehouse for 12 years, and I did other jobs. And not that it's related to this, but we tend to slack as entrepreneur, as a business owner, as independent contractor, right? We don't have someone on top of us telling us we need to stay on top of this. Our brokers is not always on top of us saying, our team leads are not always on top of us saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to stay on top of it, right? Where if you are in a trade business, where if you are a W2 and you're working for a company, you consistently have somebody supervising you, making sure that you're doing things on time, that you're doing things the right way, and that you're getting things done, right? So having this system, this feature integrated into your CRM, I think it's going to be an essential part of any one business, because you need a constant reminder sometimes. We tend to slack. We tend to get distracted easily. We have the shiny syndrome. We see something else and we go straight for it and forget the things that are already in our reach, per se. The things that are in our CRM, the people that we need to nurture, the people that need to stay on top of in order to get them to the finish line. We tend to take those little things for granted sometimes and think that because we already make a connection, because we already had a number of conversations, that they're okay extending that time frame for the next touch point. And having Glitch as a constant reminder that say, hey, you haven't followed up with so and so and so. You need to stay on top of this. I think that is going to be a game changer and bring a lot more business on the road for someone that stay on top of it, that integrate all the things and all the features the way they should. Because at the end of the day, you may have a lot of business in your pipeline that you don't even know. That you're not nurturing, that you're not taking care of. And now I'm adding a tool that is a constant reminder of what you already have in there. That alone would change your business.
And before we dive into showing Glitch, which we're going to do right now, we're going to show Glitch. We're going to show how Glitch works. Let's talk about the 3 different ways that you can actually engage with Glitch. So I wanted to make sure that everybody had a way to work with Glitch that was their own comfort level. Some people want to actually be in the CRM, and that's fine. There's no problem with actually being in the CRM. So if you want to use Glitch within the CRM, that's completely fine. There's a menu link item on the left-hand side of your menu where you can hit and you can talk to Glitch, and he's right there. So if you want to be inside the CRM and work with Glitch alongside, that's all you right there. Now, a lot of people don't want to be in the CRM. They never want to see the CRM. They just want to know that things are handled, and that's okay too. So there's 2 ways to do that. And also not just not wanting to be on the CRM. So you do want to be in the CRM part of the time, but then you do want to go to your son's game, or you do want to go to, your daughter's practice. You want to go to this grocery store. You want to just go to the movies. You just want to go sit on the couch and you don't want to be at your desk, but you still want things to, happen. This is the way you're going to communicate with Glitch. So all the latest rage right now is Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord. That's how people want to talk to their bots. So you have the option with Glitch to speak with him via Telegram, via WhatsApp, Discord. So those are all 3 ways you can communicate with Glitch as well as he has his own app. It's probably the easiest way and the most fun way to talk to him. But I also understand that some people don't really want that experience either. So we want to make sure we have the Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp option for them. However, if you want to use the app and talk with Glitch this way, you can as well. Now, I am streaming and doing a bunch of stuff on the computer and screen sharing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually do this demo live with all of this going on. So we're going to see if it'll pick up the mic and it'll work. If the mic doesn't work, I will just do the text messaging. But you can also just be hands-free and chat with him too. So I'm going to refresh this page. And turn up my mic so you guys can hear. And again, because I'm streaming, it's going to take a second because I got 50 million things going on my computer. So give me a second here. Now, this is Glitch. He has a cute little backstory too. We're not going to get into that on this podcast, but I think we will do one about his story, and you can definitely find his story.
It's pretty cool.
So from here, there's several different options, and I'm going to show you guys different things we can do in the Glitch app. But the first thing I'm going to do is see if the talking text will work with when I'm streaming. If not, I'll upload a video later, and you guys can see the video of that working. But let's see if I can get him to still hear me. Hey, Glitch, can you send an email to Tony Holden saying that I saw his work and I really like it? I would like to set up a meeting. Oh no, he hit a snag. Of course, he hit a snag when we're live. And that could be a backend system, or it could be because we're live. So let me see what happened.
This is part of the show. Things happen. And again, like I said, the number of things going on the computer. So that's totally normal.
No, I don't think I can have this much going on right now. Of course, this happens when we're live. But
no, I think it will be best if we can upload a video later on and show an engagement from Glitch and getting a number of things on there.
Let me go to our bot safety. Oh, I'm getting a report on my end from my Telegram telling me that I have. So when something like that happens, you get a Telegram. Okay. You can also mute him if you don't want to talk to him right here. I can't screen share that because it's not going to bring it up right now, but I'm also getting Telegram messages right now letting me know that one of the accounts is having issues with Glitch. So just know if you're having issues with Glitch, we get notified that you're having issues with Glitch. And so mine is telling me right now that Glitch is having issues, and I'm fairly certain it's just because I'm trying to do too many things at once here online. But let me go to what we were talking about as far as everything that Glitch can do in that approval section. So I haven't asked him to do anything right now that requires our approval, but what we were talking about before the podcast, when there is an approval needed, it would come here, and you would either have to agree or disagree to let that approval go through. So anything like money or changing or deleting, things like that on your CRM, you're going to have to just give it the extra okay. And all of that is managed in your bot safety. So we actually have an entire section set up for bot safety. And this is where you're going to control your bot. You have your bot here is your Glitch personality. That's who we have. Now, if you're signing up under agency and you want to white label Glitch, you can white label Glitch and you can change it to be whatever you want it to be. But if you're just signing up for your own individual business, that option is not there because obviously you're not paying for a white label. Then you have how does Glitch talk to your clients? Because when Glitch is addressing your clients, you don't necessarily want him to be Glitch. So you can decide how you want Glitch to talk to your clients and who you want Glitch to be. And that's how he'll sign off to your clients. If it's left blank, if you don't fill this out, he's never going to say he's Glitch. He's just going to sign off as like your business. Then we have all of our safety measures here. So how safe do you want Glitch to be? Do you want him to be very cautious? Do you want him to be balanced? Or do you want him to run autonomously? Even with that, there's still going to be things that he has to ask you first for, like admin setting and money. He's not going to send invoices or request payment without asking you. Then we have our do not contact for the CRM. That's a very important one because you can get in a lot of trouble texting people, especially if they've said, don't message me anymore. So we want to make sure our bots know who not to talk to. So that's a very important one to have. And then we have our guardrails here that you can put in place. And these are just extra things that if you're like, hey, I want to make sure this happens or this doesn't happen, then you can come here and you can create extra guardrails and hooks for like block it or ask me first. We have our automations. This is my favorite part because this is where you're actually going to schedule things that are going to help you in your business. You can schedule your daily lead summary, your follow-ups, your morning brief, where you can get a report every morning about your business, the snapshot of your business right now, your stale lead alert or a deal alert, where it will tell you, hey, these are all the people you haven't talked to in so long. And then your weekly pipeline report, and you can create your own auto tasks. So if you have, like if you're in a restaurant and you need to update the weekly menu, you can create that here, your update of your weekly menu report. However you want to run your business, it's easily customizable here. Triggers are kind of the same. Triggers are things that will set off a workflow or set off a certain chain of events that you want Glitch to do. So like if a form is submitted, or if a new lead is in, or if a deal changes pipelines, just different triggers you want. And then we have a ton of skills from our skill library that you can choose for Glitch to have. And you can also create your own. Some are needed, some are not. Like if you're not a lender, then you don't need to have the lending skills that we have in here. If you're a real estate agent, you would want to have the real estate skills that Glitch has. If you're not a real estate agent, you wouldn't want those skills. And we're going to be creating more skills depending on the CRM and needs that we encounter as new clients enroll with Glitch. Knowledge base. This is probably the most important and the most fun thing here because you can upload your media for Glitch. You can upload, now when I say media for Glitch, what I mean is you can upload your media for your business and then Glitch has it to use in your social media posts and things like that. So this is all Glitch here because this account is Glitch, advertising Glitch, but your account obviously wouldn't be pictures of Glitch. It would be pictures of like your logos, if you're a restaurant, your menu items, if you're a real estate agent, your recent listings, things like that. Then you have your knowledge base, which is what Glitch knows and what he would pull from to advertise you and to run your business.
So the more information about your business you feed him, the easier it gets to work with all the leads that are coming through.
Yes. And now let me also ask you this, Andres. We also have a section here and we're working if you're a real estate agent or if you're a any type of form that needs to be filled out when we set up your account. This is something that we would train Glitch to be able to do. But let me ask you this, Andres. When you're out on a showing, and let's say you've showed like 4 houses, right? And they want to put in an offer. You're out, you're doing your showings. What does that look like for you? Are you able just to automatically right then, like at that house, sit down and type out that contract? Or is your day done the second you close the lockbox for the last house? What happens for what's your night look like after you've done 3 showings and they want to put in an offer on 2 of those houses?
Oh, I better have my computer with me. If we want to sit down there and make craft the offer while we're together, if they want to go home, and then I craft the offer, send it over to them to review, get signatures, and send that in. But that's happening before I go to sleep that night. It is happening. So yeah, my date is not done until that offer gets sent over.
So what if I told you you could get in your car and you could say, hey, Glitch, we want to make 2 separate offers, one on 123 Main Street and one on 4321 Main Street. And then you give Glitch the details. And when you got home, sitting in your CRM was the completely filled out forms. All you had to do was go through them, verify everything's correct, and then send them off for signatures. Will that save you some time?
That's a game changer right there. Definitely will send sometimes. Now, that's making sure I have the buyer's information accurately in the system, right? Email, full name, details, and then be able to provide them the address of the property and say, hey, we're putting an offer for this property and for this property. fill up the forms. That is a game changer right there. That just saves me a couple of hours.
Yeah. It's a very, very nice feature that Glitch can do. Now, obviously, he is still artificial intelligence. He is not a real human, and this should not be done in replace of you sitting through here and actually reviewing everything that he does. Everything that he does needs to be checked by human eyes, specifically if you're a real estate agent, your eyes, or your transaction coordinator's eyes, or whoever it is that you have writing up your contracts, and making sure that everything is correct. So this isn't to replace the work that you're doing. It's to enhance the work that you're doing. It's to help you. It's to get it filled out for you ahead of time. So you just have to proofread what is done. So the more information you feed Glitch, the more information he's going to have, the better he can assist you. So if you upload a form to Glitch, what Glitch does, and again, in your initial intake interview, we're going to go over all the forms that you want him to know so that he can do this for you. What will happen is he'll learn this form, and he'll learn the spots that he's to fill out and the spots that he's not to fill out. And obviously he's not going to send it to anybody, because that's something that you have to do. You have to send it to make sure that, everything is correct before you send it off. But what he'll do is he's able to fill in the fillable spots of that form with the information he's given. So if you have closing attorneys that you're using on the regular, those are your closing attorneys, and you have them in the system, he has access to their information, he can get that information. He can also do a web search. So let's say that the listing that you did says, we want you to use, I'm just going to make up a name. Let's say Wall Street Mayor closing attorney, or Wall Street Mayor title company, whoever. You've never heard of them. You've never used them. You don't have them in your system. So you can say, hey, Glitch, scrub the web. Oh, crap. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, he's not. Because I thought he was going to start talking right now. I forgot. Turned him on mute. Say, hey, Glitch, scrub the web and find the information for, Wall Street Mayor title company. And then it'll find that information. And then you can say, create a contact for them, label them closing attorney or title company or whoever they are. Then you can say, okay, now, hey, Glitch, create offer on a purchase and sale agreement for 123 Main Street. And then you would give him the information that you would put in that form. This is the closing attorney. This is how much we're going to offer. This is the earnest money. This is the seller, concessions, the due diligence period. In plain English, you can either talk it to him or you can text it to him and tell him this is what you want in that. And then he'll go through that form and fill out that form for you. And you can do the same thing with your, your addendums, your exhibits, any form that you want to put in there. So let's say, you want to put in your closing attorney acting as holder of earnest money, or your FHA exhibits, any type of, financing contingency exhibits that you're putting in there. You're going to make sure that he knows those forms. You tell him what you want on those forms and he can fill them out. And then you just go in there, you find the filled out forms in your CRM, and then you double check everything. And if they look good, send them off for signatures to your client, and then boom.
Damn, I just imagine sending a text message when we close the door, when I get in the car, and then having all of that ready by the time I get home. That's perfect right there.
And your bots are trainable and they know what's going on. So if you've already pulled the information, like your, let's say your FMLS listing, right, for the house, you've already pulled it. If you upload that to Glitch and you give it to Glitch and you say, hey, these are the houses that we're going to go see today for, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We're going to go, we have these showings, which Glitch already knows because they're already in your calendar. So he knows you have these showing schedules. He's already going to have the information for that house. He's going to have that listing agreement. So you can just say, here's the listing agreement, or not the listing agreement, the listing report. Here's a listing report, throw that to him and he can pull all the information from that and fill out your forms.
Sweet. That's scary, right? It's scary, mind-boggling, and impressive, because last year I wasn't thinking that we're gonna be able to get this done. See what I'm saying? Last year we were talking about starting the podcast. Right, this time of the year last year we were talking about, hey, we should start a podcast, and we said, yeah, let's do it. July 3rd, July 6th, let's just go ahead and do it. And here we are talking about a glitch being able to get all of this done for your business. It's just fast paced change in the technology, and I'm happy this is accessible. This is available to us, and we're making this accessible to anyone because that I would definitely see a complete change in the business once you start implementing this on a daily basis.
It to me it is like scary, but it's also amazing
It
that
is.
these things can be done. Um, and then beyond just, I mean, that's just one aspect of it. That's just one feature, right? So whether you're a real estate agent or whether you're a roofing company, whatever forms that need to be filled out, Glitch can learn those. Glitch can fill those out. Obviously, we are real estate agents, so for us, the primary thing that we're thinking of is, hey, these are our forms for us. Let's make life easier on us. But this is open to any industry. This is open to any forms. It doesn't have to be exclusive to real estate. The key thing is just making sure that you remember at the end of the day, the bot is not there to do the work for you. The bot is there to enhance your work. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. A lot of people think, oh, vibe coding now is so easy because of all these programs that can come out. We can just create something by talking to a machine and asking it to do it, and then it's there, and then we're good. That's not the reality of the situation. Unless you actually know what you're doing, unless you're actually understanding what you're creating, you know just enough to be dangerous, basically. Um, and never think that you know everything, because is as much as you think there's always stuff that you don't know. So always make sure you're double checking everything. These, at the end of the day, these bots are there to help, like I said, enhance your business, not run your business completely for you. So you need to make sure, if you're using the feature of having your forms filled out, that you're double checking these forms before you send them out, just like you would if you were doing them yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on, in our little form here, we have a lot of connectors. So without trying to sound super technical on you, basically, Glitch lives in your CRM. That's where he lives. Right now, he lives in High Level. Glitch can go to any CRM. He doesn't have to be Go High Level. That's just where we happen to create him, because that's the one that we are currently using. But if you have a different CRM that you would like Glitch to live in, we can also do that. Now, anybody who uses Go High Level knows that there's only so many connectors or connections that you can integrate with Go High Level. Love Go High Level, no shade to Go High Level, but they're not the easiest to integrate with. And a lot of things don't. So Glitch is kind of like the bridge between those. So what we've done at Real Talk is we've created different ways to connect different tools to Glitch. And the list is just going to keep growing. These are some of the main connectors right now that we thought people might want to connect with the tools that they're already using. But if you don't see something on here that you want, we do have ways to add custom build you a connector that you need so that Glitch can implement that in your system. So just kind of give you like a basic rundown of the connecting. Now, to not kind of confuse us, you talk to Glitch through Discord, Telegram, WhatsApp. That's how you talk to Glitch. Now, some people in their CRM, or just maybe just in customer base, whatever, they talk to their customers via Discord, via WhatsApp, via Telegram. Totally fine, right? That's a different connection setup than what you're doing with Glitch, because Glitch is talking to you and your CRM. We also have the capabilities, excuse me, to connect Discord, WhatsApp, Telegram for your clients as well to your CRM, so that when information is passed back and forth, that can go to your CRM as well. And you can take advantage of the workflows and stuff like that inside your CRM. So that, there is crazy noise going on outside my house right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. We also have a lot of tools that people use, like MailChimp, Postmark, Mailgun, SendGrid. A lot of these, some of these are integrated with Go High Level, but very minimally, and they want to do different things with them. which they're not quite able to do via Go High Level or like at all away from their phone. So now that we have these integrations, you can start doing things with Glitch, and you can connect other CRMs to your Glitch and to Go High Level, because not all CRMs are created equally, but a lot of people don't want to leave one CRM to go to another CRM. So what if I told you you didn't have to, but you want to take advantage of the things inside Go High Level? You can use your HubSpot, you can use your Pipedrive, your Close, your Follow Up Boss, and we can integrate all of those into Glitch and then into Go High Level that way, as well as all of these others here that we have so far. Your Notion, if you want your Calendly, your Zoom, Typeform, Eventbrite, Jotform, Canva, Venmo, Webflow. There's just a ton of ones that we can connect. We're still growing. Shopify, QuickBooks. Oh my God, businesses. This is going to be huge. And your Google Mail, Google Sheets. This one takes a little bit more than just setting your API key. So we want to make sure that we onboard you with these, and that way your books are in here correctly. And if you're doing any type of like, you have people that you chat with on, Google Chat, or you have your calendars, you have your Drive, you have your sheets that you want sunk into the CRM, they can do that as well. Airtable. I love Airtable. And like I said, Perplexia, Ace, Cloudflare, all of these are things that we can connect for you guys. We have a ton of real estate and lender ones, and we have more that are coming. So Cloud CMA. Oh, that was the other one. DocuSign.loop. Glitch sent for one of our other real estate agents. Glitch successfully sent a CMA for him without having to do anything other than to Telegram Glitch and say, hey, Glitch, send this lead a CMA for 345 Maple Street. And Glitch successfully went into that contact, pulled that contact, ran the CMA, a Cloud CMA, and sent them a really cool link with comps, everything. And that realtor didn't do anything except for say, hey, Glitch, send this person a CMA. I mean, just imagine how cool that would be is if you're standing there talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, I saw this house. I kind of like, no, oh, really? What's the address? And then you pull out your app and you're like, hey, Glitch, send Jane Smith a CMA for the house she just said. And then it sends them a link to this really cool, if you're an agent and you use Cloud CMA, you know what it's like, a live little website thing. It's really cool. That's amazing. They're going to be blown away that you're able to do that.
Absolutely. I'm thinking, if you're at an open house, somebody comes through and say, hey, I'd like to know what my house is worth. And before they even walked out of the house, you already send them that.
Yep.
How cool would that be? You're like, hey, check your email. I just sent you the CMA for your house. What the hell? I was just talking to you 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Hey.
And it's a great way to lead capture. Like, obviously, if they came into your open house, you would already have them sign in, hopefully. But if you hadn't, or you met them somewhere else, and you're like, I'll send you a CMA right now. What's your name? What's your phone number? And you can get that, give it to Glitch, and then Glitch will know to automatically put that person in as a new lead, enrich them, put them on a campaign. So it's really going to save you a lot of time in the long run.
Absolutely.
Now, the cool thing about Glitch is that he comes with his own brain. So he automatically comes with the brain, that his built-in Glitch brain. However, you can also bring your own. So let's say you're already paying for a subscription. Like, for example, Andres and I, we have the Claude Max Pro. So we're paying Anthropic a lot of money every month to be able to use their services. And if you're already doing that and you're like, I am doing that and I'm still doing all my own work, I would like to not have to be at my computer all the time. So let's say you're not even trying to run a business. You're just at your computer, taking advantage of building apps, doing things like that. And you would like to have a bot that you could talk to, that you didn't have to sit at your computer to build these apps. You could, I know if you use Claude Desktop, then you have the dispatch option where you can like leave, and you have other options where you can leave and you can kind of control it from your phone. But this is actually a better way to be able to legitimately be able to go offline and use it when your computer's not even on. So that's pretty cool, because if you have Claude and you're using it, you have to have your computer on to go away from it and use it. So it's really neat to be able to use it like that. And we can connect with anything. It doesn't have to be Claude. You tell us who you're wanting to use as your LLM, and we can set that up for you, and you can bring in your own. Now, part of what we offer is with your payment for Glitch, you get $100 in credit every month. And if you want to up that, you can add credit to it, but you get $100 in credit that you can use for any of the other API connections, or you can use for your brain. So if you bring your own brain to Glitch and connect them, then you can have that $100 in credits for whatever else you want to do. Let's say you want to do images, you want to do social media posting, you created a clone of yourself and you want every week him to create videos, then he can do that, with that money as well. So however you choose to do that is fine. It can be BYO Brain, or it can be you use his custom model, and you can go from there. And it also is going to track for you all your usage, so you know exactly where you are and exactly what you have.
Talk about a game changer on everything that you just covered, from top to finish. The features, the accessibility, the easiness to use it, the safety measures, the box, the built-in. It sounds too good to be true. Like, this is incredible, because it sounds so simple to plug it into my business and start using it, and just getting things done. And a lot of times we don't get shit done because we don't want to sit down, and having to sit down and do it, and dig here and start looking through the history of messages and emails to identify the lead that I may have or may not have follow up, go through documents of leads that came in that I never uploaded. This sounds too simple to use, to not be wanting to use it all day, every day.
Exactly. And I know, like, going through that, people are probably like, oh my God, that's a lot. That seems just as complicated to set up as all of the other ones that you said this was easier than. And because of that, we have our guide here. So if you go into your bot safety and settings, you have a guide here that you can click, and that gives you the complete overview of how to set up your bot, what everything is, what everything means. And keep in mind that we're going to be with you on your intake appointment. So we're going to go over this with you. We're going to help you set up your bot. We're going to make sure you understand everything. And also, every little spot tells you what it is, and it gives you a little quick overview of what it is. So if you're confused about what you're supposed to do with these certain things, it'll let you know. So you can go in here and you can see what they are and how they work. Now, again, the big overview is here in guide, so it'll tell you what everything is, but the little eyes with a circle around them is what's going to give you your main little flag of this is how you use this spot.
And that's one of the things that impressed me the most. As we started putting this together, we always thought of someone like me, who I wasn't tech savvy on CRM and things a year or so ago, on getting things done on the business, on getting things done on the CRM. Now, not only is this the ease of use of getting you to use your CRM a lot more, but the little details that you put in there to show people what each of these line items are for, the guides throughout. Not only is Glitch itself easy to use, but the whole system itself is easy to understand. You look at any particular line item and it tells you, like you just showed, exactly what it's for. It gives you a description every step of the way. There's guides everywhere. Because we consistently we get overwhelmed. Sometimes we get a CRM from my broker or business. Here you go, figure things out. And what happens with that? Nothing. We don't use it because it's too complicated. There's too much going on. There's too many things to go around, and it always ends up being not being used. And we see that time and time again. Like you said at the beginning, we've talked to hundreds of agents that one of the main things is they don't use the CRM, and that's the problem that we try to solve here. And I think we've done a great job at it.
And I think we have, and we're like the bots, we're self-learning, so we can adapt, we can change, and we can create new ways to make the bots work for every industry, every company, every need that person has. And just to kind of give you an idea of some of the things that Glitch can do, it can book, confirm appointments, send reminders, handle no-shows. It can do all of your follow-up for you. It can draft social posts. It can post them. It can give you your stats on social media. It can help with SEO. If you have your Google account set up and your CRM, which again, when you do your intake, this is all stuff that we help you with to make sure everything is set up for you so that Glitch can work at maximum capacity. If you have a Google My Business page, you have Google reviews coming in, that is something that Glitch can help with as well. He can request Google reviews, especially video reviews are like all the rage right now. And he can help with unhappy clients. One of the main things about Google reviews, right? Unless you're specifically like hunting and like really pushing people to give you good Google reviews, nobody goes to Google to write good reviews. Most of the time they're bad reviews. So you have to actively try to like get good reviews. And that's what I always tell people when they like go to like a restaurant or something like that and look at the Google reviews. I'm like, how often do you write a good Google review without being asked? So Glitch is here. If you're not a real estate agent, if you're a business, Glitch is here to go through those reviews for you, and those reviews that are bad reviews, he can reach out to those people, talk to those people, and you can try to make amends with those people to get a better review, rather than getting in a review war on Google. It's better to make amends, send gift certificates, send something so that they can come back and say, hey, I was pissed, but this company actually did reach out, make things better. And all that is going to help your Google rating. Invoices, sorry, go ahead, Andres.
I was going to say absolutely. And about Google reviews, that's something my wife and I didn't really do. People are easy to go and write something about you, about the business. But when it comes to food, great service, I tend to always let people know. Especially on Google reviews, I like to be on the road. I've come across some great restaurants on the road. And one of the things I looked is at the Google review. Like, for instance, I was driving through Kansas one. I was hungry, coming from California. Looked at a nearby restaurant. Turns out this barbecue place right off the freeway. Amazing barbecue. Looked at the review, had great things. Went in there. Turns out the guy was a state champion 3 years in a row. The best brisket I'd ever had. I made sure I let my Google review, and now I have that as a favorite restaurant. Every time I'm heading down that way, I'm stopping at that place. And we do so consistently. That's the thing. People are easy to tell you what they don't like, but they're not easy to tell you and fast to tell you when you do something right. So if I like something, I tend to let people know. I have great service, some great food from that place. Sometimes you never know. Some people are looking for those little things to make a decision. Like, you know what? I like that. Let's go make it happen. Let's go there.
That's good. I wish more people would leave good Google reviews like that, because I think that gets overlooked a lot of times, and people do go to the Google reviews to see about restaurants, new salons, hair places, nail places, things that they're going to try. And unfortunately, most of the time it's met with unhappy customers rather than happy customers. So I wish that more people would share their good experiences with businesses, but unfortunately that's just not a common thing that happens. And that's why there's the need in CRMs to ask people to leave you a good Google review, because it's not common. So
I think if you're in the service industry, you ought to give yourself the same respect and give a review on the businesses that you go in, because you are expecting a review from people that you're servicing, and in the same capacity you should reflect that on the others when you go out and get a service, whether it's food, whether it's any particular trade that they provide you a service with. You owe it to yourself to provide that review, because again, that's how they go about people seeing that they're providing a great service. Not everyone's going to call you and say, "Hey, how was the service provided by Heather, by Andres?" No, they see that through your reviews, and it's a reflection of ourselves in the service industry.
Yeah, no, they do. So keep that in mind, people. Go give those good Google reviews.
Absolutely.
And you'll have the time now because Glitch will be doing your CRM work for you, so you have time to go give Google reviews, or tell Glitch to give you go give a Google review for somebody. Maybe that'll be something we set up next. Is Glitch Google review? His whole job is just to put Google reviews for you on people. But moving on to invoices and payments, he can send invoices. He can do payment links for you. He can chase what's been unpaid, what needs to be paid. He can manage your products for you. If you have the store set up inside your CRM, he can help you with that as well. We already went over the social posts and stuff like that. There are so many things. The forms aren't even on here that he can handle. It's just truly amazing. When I say he's autonomous and he can run your CRM, he can basically do as much as you let him do. If you're running ads, he can help you with the ads. He can do workflows. He can help with task routing. It's amazing the things that Glitch can do. The more information he has, the more he can do. So the more things you have connected, the more he can do.
Nice.
So one thing that's really great about Glitch is while you can bring your own APIs and connect, which is what we're talking about, all the different connectors that are specific for you, which is great. Like I said, the more stuff he has, the more he can work. Those are your own individual accounts, right? So like, let's say you have your own Airtable account that you have your information on that you want to share with Glitch so that he can do for the CRM. He can definitely do that. We also offer Glitch Connect. Glitch Connect is a connection that has over 700 API tools wired in. There's no setup needed from you. And then over 1,000 skills that he has banked that he can call upon. So in order for him to do the things he has to do, he has to have the power to do them. If you've created any of the new, and again, I don't want to say the names, but if you've created any of the tools for the open whatevers AI agents, you know that you have to have connectors for them. They can't just do things. Like I'm sure you've seen YouTube videos where they're like, oh, my, Clawbot did this or my Clawbot did that. And then you go ask yours to do it. And yours is like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. It's because what they're not telling you, they're not saying the quiet part out loud. They're not saying that they coded it to be able to do that. They're not telling you that they gave it the API access to do these things, and yours can't do that without it. So what we've done is we've created Glitch Connect to where you don't have to have the API codes for all these different things. Like if you want him to make a video, you don't have to have Dolly, you don't have to have Gemini, you don't have to have Nano Banana. We have one API code that's connected to your Glitch that will handle all of that for you. Now, keep in mind, that's where that $100 a month comes in that you have credit. And then if you're using the hell out of Glitch and you burn through your credit, then you can always, up your credit and give yourself some more credit on your account. And that can be a prepaid account for you. But you have access to that. So your Glitch has the tools. You just have to know how to talk to him and ask him to use those, which is, again, something when you sign up, we show you how to do. It's very easy, just plain talking to Glitch, asking him to do things. Can you think of something just like off the top of your head, Andres? I know you've been playing with him for a little bit, that he's done for you that you were like, oh, I didn't even know he could do that. I know you kind of mentioned it already.
Oh, it's the constant reminder. I think that's the feedback on any messages that come in that needs attention right away. He tells me, hey, so and so need a response. This looks urgent. Should I reply? Drafting the messages on that reply. I think that is that caught me by surprise. Also, when I uploaded a list of leads earlier today, and he scrubbed the website and said, "Hey, so and so worked here, did this, did that." I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't even know that person. I haven't even talked to them that week." And just a matter of him scrubbing the internet and adding additional information for the lead for me to know. I think that was neat. And that reminder, I'm telling you, that's going to be a game changer. Just being able to know that, okay, I need to follow up with this person. I have a follow up. Sometimes you open the message and you think you follow up and you just leave it like that, get distracted something else, and you never responded. Now I have Glitch telling me, "Hey, you never responded to so and so. Should I send that message that you put together?" So I think that's good. And then the social media posts. Just the other day, I had a couple of closings in the same week, and it just sent them the picture and say, "Hey, can you post this on my social media?" Boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, oh, I put this together just to prove it, ready to roll. It was all over the place, and I wasn't even home. I just uploaded the picture after closing. And it's just able to do that instantly. And what used to take me a few minutes or thinking about different ways or what to write or how to do this, now just send a picture, "Hey, just close this transaction, post it on my social media," and it's done in minutes. It's just great.
What are ways that you think in the future you want to use Glitch that would be helpful for you?
Organizational wise, what I mean by that is, you have your whole clientele and the value of the transaction, right? And you touch briefly on this, on the expenses and having the metrics of everything that you're spending. Just imagine you add everything, all your expenses out for your business. You connect and tell Glitch to add and create a table, create a graph. And as you spend something, you tell it to add it to your monthly expenses. And you're keeping track of all your listings, keeping track of all your buyers, the value of opportunity for each of them. And every month you can look at that graph and say, okay, this is how many opportunities I have, how much money I'm making, this is how much I spend. Just knowing all those numbers and the cost of opportunity for each one, especially if you're running ads, you know, anything that you're spending to generate more business. And it breaks it down to the single opportunity. I think that's very important because a lot of people, you ask them today and they don't know their numbers. They don't know how much money it costs them to generate a transaction. They go around their business and say, "Hey, I closed 3 transactions the past 6 months." How much money did you spend the past 6 months to generate those 3 transactions? Because that's one thing that people don't think of real estate, right? It's how much money you consistently have to put out, maintaining the CRM, maintaining the MLS access, your dues, your fees, marketing for listings. All of these things add up consistently, are adding up. Travel, showings, driving here, driving there. Some people take note of the number of miles. Some people don't. Your gas. All of these things add up consistently. And if you're able to send a picture of a receipt, you're able to send a text message to Glitch or notes. "Hey, I just drove so many miles. I just drove, I just spent this amount of money in gas." All of these expenses, you're able to keep track of it. And then on a monthly basis, you get the full graph, the full report.
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing that I personally look forward to putting together and having that laid out for me. Because not that many people keep track of everything. Yeah, some people do. I personally have not in some areas. But I'm looking forward to having everything lined up, straightened out, because you need to know where your money is going. And you need to know what is coming in consistently if you want to run a business successfully.
Speaking of that, one of the updated features that he's going to have, it's in the works, is budget glitch or glitch budget. And you're going to be able to take your statements from either your business card or your banking account, whatever, and upload it into Glitch. And what Glitch can do is create for you a transaction of like a history report of all your transactions. He can go through, he can find out what's your monthly occurring costs, list them, and then he can actually go through and say, hey, we see that, this monthly, are all these monthly bills necessary? Are any of these that you're using things you don't need? Like, are you using this Netflix? Are you using this, whatever this is, are you using this? And if you're not, he can help you eliminate the things that you don't necessarily need and save you money, as well as keep track of what you are spending money on and making sure that everything is where it needs to be, because nobody balances their checkbooks anymore. Nobody does that. Everybody's just like using their card, but nobody's really keeping track of where the money is going.
Exactly. They don't even use the checkbook anymore or checks. So yeah, definitely. I think that is such an important tool, because we're all in the business and we're all looking to make money in some way, somehow, right? That's what we are as an entrepreneur. We want to launch and do our own things, but with so much going on, sometimes you can miss some of the little details. But the more little details you miss, they keep adding up. And when it comes to money, they keep adding up. And next thing you know, you have a whole bunch of things that you're no longer using that you're still paying for, that you're not even aware that you're still paying for them. But you just pay them because they're on automatic, like so many things of our life, so many things of our routine that we are on automatic, that go on for who knows how long, and they just keep adding up. And you're giving out $20, $15 for this, for that you're no longer using. And it's just having the tools necessary to bring awareness to these things, like you said. Look at that report, what's recurring, and identifying the things that we no longer need and put that towards the things that we actually are using. Like Glitch. How many CRMs or tools are you paying for as an agent, let's say, that you're not longer using, but that you haven't used since you got it?
A lot.
How many things do we get thinking, oh shit, this is gonna be nice? Oh shit, stay right there. And that's it. We pay for it for 3, 4, 5 months. Shit, we're still paying for it. But that is it. You're just paying for it. It's unfortunate, but that shit happens every day. It happens to a lot of us. We get things just for the hell of it.
Unfortunately, I know we keep going back to real estate agents because that's our, what we are, our norm, our day to day, especially real estate agents. We spend a shit ton of money on things that are in pursuit of getting, our business further, and then we just forget about them. And then we have just these reoccurring payments and I swear real estate agents buy everything. Real estate agents would buy a wet book of matches, and then we'd buy 2 just to make sure that, we got the best deal possible. And we're constantly being hit up. Every day my phone rings off the hook from like marketers pitching to us what's going to make our business boom. And the reality of it, there's only one thing that's going to make your business boom, and that's actually hunting and working for, new business.
Conversations.
Yep.
That's it. Having conversations, calling people, having conversations. Everything else are tools that will help us have more conversations. But if we don't have those conversations and we don't use the tools to allow us to have those conversations, then we're just putting money out there. And I think Glitch is going to help us have a lot more conversations, because a lot of these other things are just a message away.
And speaking of that, while we were doing what we were doing, I figured out what was wrong with Glitch and why he wouldn't work, and it had nothing to do with streaming. So to put a nutshell on it, remember what I was talking about, those safety rails and those guideline, those guardrails. So I had put a safety rail where it's only allowed to spend a certain amount of money every month. And because we're testing and we're developing, I had added new money to the card for his brain to work, but I'd put that limit there. So because I put that limit, that's why he wouldn't work. So I got a Telegram message saying, hey, this account hit its limit. They haven't re-upped. So I went re-upped, and now Glitch is good. So we want to see what Glitch can do.
But that's good. It's one of the safety things that we talk about, having this guidelines, this safety measure so that it doesn't do whatever it wants. It doesn't allow you to spend over what you're looking to spend for a particular month.
Yeah.
That's a great example of that being showcasing. So that's excellent, because these are exactly the things that we talk about. You want to set up those safety measures so that you don't you don't overextend yourself if you don't have to, and you're wise in the way that you're using things, because it is here to help you and enhance your business, not to do everything for you.
Definitely. So, well, yes, it was a little hiccup there when I was like, hey, Glitch, do this. And he's like, yeah, I hit a snag. I would rather him hit a snag and then alert, the admin of the account that there's an issue than me continue to spend money that I didn't want to spend. Can you imagine if you're like, hey, create this video, create that video, create this, and Glitch is just like, woohoo, and then you're like, Glitch, what do you mean I owe an extra $50 or an extra $500? So definitely rather have that. So now hopefully he'll work. So I'm going to ask him to do some stuff.
And we can get carried away when things are looking good, things are happening, things are getting done.
Right? You're like, hey, create me a landing page and do this and do that. And you're already over budget for that month. And you're like, oh, which he can do, by the way. He can create landing pages. He can do all of that. So that's pretty cool too. Again, user discretion, whatever you want to use him for. But keep in mind, everything you do, and again, in your intake, we'll go over all of that. We'll go over what the cost for everything is. You pay for your own AI. Hey, Glitch, can you send an email to Tony Holden, please?
What did you want the email to say, though?
Just say, hey, Tony, I just wanted to check in because I haven't heard from you in a while. Yes, please. Yes, please. So a hiccup on Go High Level's end isn't anything that has to do with us. So I don't know what that would be.
All right.
So that's one way. So if you're out, and this, I have it on my desk right now, but I was just testing the line. That's it for now, Glitch. Thanks. So I have it on my computer, but you can have it on your phone as well. Let's do something real quick, and then we'll get into pricing where it's on. It's something that's going to send us an approval. So let's try this. Hey, Glitch, send an invoice to Tony Holden for work completed for $587. So what's cool about that is that if you're that's it, we're done. Thanks, Glitch. So with Glitch, the good thing about it is no matter what your business is, if you're sending out an invoice, you can literally just ask him to do it. And you can do all this from Telegram too. If you don't want to chat, if you don't want to do the voice talking, you don't have to do the voice talking. But if you're driving, you can do the voice talking. It's much easier. It's just like a conversation back and forth. What I was going to show you now is, let me get back to the screen share. So you can see it says I have one thing in my approval. You can either click here or you can click approvals here. If I go to approvals here, like I said, there's a safety guardrail in line. It's not going to send out an approval without your, not going to send out something in approvals without your approval. So right now we have the approval here. We can either say, yes, this looks good. This is who it's billed to. We can say send and approve, or we can say revise, and we can go in here and change if it made a mistake, or if we made a mistake, we can change that. But if I hit send and approve, it's going to send and approve, or it's not. It's going to say error because everything's happening live. Oh no, it's a go high level error. So something's going on with go high level right now. Actually, let me keep trying this. It might just be. Approved already. Okay. So it is approved. So I'm going to go see what the error is with go high level. So something's going on in go high level right now with on their side of things, because that's twice in a row that it's said it's been a go high level issue, which go high level, again, love go high level. They are updating their AI right now to do great, amazing things. I don't know if anybody keeps up with go high level doing is they've got like a ton of new AI stuff coming out that will ultimately in the end help Glitch. Right now it's a little bit frustrating because they keep changing things and then, you know, we have to change things. But in the long run, it's going to be pretty cool. So what I'm thinking right now is that they have some open work that they're doing, and that might be causing a little bit of the issues, I'm assuming. So I can put my bots on it and find out what's going on. I'm actually going to do that and find out what's going on. But we can go into pricing and what Glitch can do for you right now as well.
Let's do it.
So for our core assistant for Glitch, to have Glitch, whether it's via Telegram, whether it's talking with him, whether it's sitting in your CRM as a menu item that you can go in. And if it's a menu item, it's going to look just like this. You're going to have Glitch here. You're going to have your home button. You're going to have your chat option where you can chat. You're going to have your business section here. And then obviously your approval section here, and then your credits here where it will tell you how many credits you have left and give you a rundown of what you've got going on. If you don't want to talk to Glitch, you can mute him there so you don't hear him. If you want to talk to Glitch, then you can unmute him and talk to them. Now you have the different sections here that you can go into and do things, or you can just use your chat here and talk to him there as well. Again, you have like your social media where you can do your social media posts. It'll tell you what accounts you have connected, whether you want to do a new post, you want to schedule something, you want to see what's going on, you want to get more engagement with your leads. Money-wise, it's going to tell you your different offers. It's going to tell you, give you the links if you have product links in there so that you can just grab a product link and give it to somebody. And then for your channels, this is where you're going to connect what channels you have connected. So if you want to have web chat, if you want to have Telegram, if you want to have Discord, WhatsApp, however you want to talk to Glitch, your knowledge base, your activity, this is going to tell you what bot has done what. So there's just tons of ways that you can come in here and engage with Glitch. So to have Glitch, to have everything that Glitch can do, there's, again, no limit to have the 700 plus API connections and the 1,000 skill bank plus create your own skills as well. It's $479 a month with a one-time setup fee of $518. So that would be one time. Now we are offering beta pricing right now. So if that's something you're interested in, we're going to send the link at the end so that you can sign up for our beta plan. You get a discount for the first 2 months so that we can kind of work out all the little kinks like you saw right now as we were getting Glitch to work. And even with the beta program, the 518 is still there for the setup, because when we do setup, we have a very intensive setup process where we try to get your account as fully set up and customizable as possible for you so that Glitch can work at maximum capacity for you.
That's $497, no $479.
Yes, sorry. $497. $497. Sometimes I read things wrong.
Oh, I do that all the time.
And just so you guys know, the slideshow that we're watching, Glitch created this. Glitch created this slideshow last night. I didn't create this, so we're seeing it together. No, I did proofread it one time, but it is something that Glitch created that I didn't have to do. So if you have a presentation that you have to do, it's really amazing that Glitch can just go in here and create this for you. Because I don't know, how long would it take you? This is what, 12 slides? And if you think about it, just to slide back through here, this is pretty cool to think that he created that in like 5 minutes last night.
It is. It's pretty cool. The color, the team, everything is just well put together.
Yep. Branded to his brand so that he knew to do it that way. Now let's talk about Glitch Agency. So if you are either an agency owner or you want to be an agency owner, meaning that you want to have an account and then have, sub accounts underneath you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a SaaS plan. It could be like if you're a brokerage and you want to have your account and then you want your agents to have their own account, or you're a lender or you're a roofer. And then, whatever company you have, if you want to have sub accounts underneath you where they have their own account, and that's not limited to like, oh, they need to have their account for, lead generation or whatever. It could be social media. It could be for invoicing. It could be for whatever that they need their own separate account for. It would just make life easier. A lot of people think, oh, a CRM is only for like a SaaS business. No, it's for anything, like literally anything. Imagine if you're making money right now off TikTok, or you're making money off of social media, and you have people commenting you, you're trying to keep track of the comments, you're trying to keep track of orders. You can use the CRM and you can have Glitch enabled to talk to those people when they're DMing you. So a lot of people right now are using link in bio and losing a lot of business. Instead of using link in bio, you should be doing DM me this and then sending them your link, and then having Glitch send them your link, and then have Glitch follow up with them so you're not losing these leads.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to do that. But let's say you're an agency owner, you want to be an agency owner. We also offer a white labeling. So you can run Glitch across everything and then manage it from one sub account. And for that, it is $2,497 a month with a one-time setup fee included with your first month. So this would be for your first month. This would be the one-time setup fee included. It would be $2,497. And then after that, you would have a monthly payment. So up to 15 sub-accounts, second month and beyond, it would be $997. If you have 16 to 25 sub-accounts, it would be $1,497. If you have 26 to 50 sub-accounts, it would be $2,000 a month. If you have 51 to 100 sub-accounts, $3,000 a month. And if you have 101 to 200 sub-accounts, it would be $5,000 a month. And then 200 plus sub-accounts, contact us about enterprise pricing for that. If you have a CRM that is not go high level and you're wanting to use that for your agency, then there is a $500 non-GHL CRM setup fee, but afterwards your pricing for your monthly would be the same. And we are also offering beta pricing on this as well. So if that's something you're interested in, contact us and we would talk to you about that as well.
Let's go.
Now you can take Glitch even further. So these are some of the stuff. And if you're a non-tech person, this might be a little bit something that you're not quite ready for yet. If you are and you understand that, hey, I didn't see my connectors, or, I have an advanced workflow. Those are all things that we can do. So let's say that you want to bring your stuff over to Go High Level from a different place, and you have advanced workflows that you want to bring over, you want to duplicate, you want them to be different, or you just want to create. You're like, hey, this is something that I want to create. All this stuff needs to happen. All these animation needs to happen. That starts at $1,995, and we can meet and talk and go from there. And then we have, deep custom builds that we can do as well. If you want an extra channel, each channel we will connect for your customers, one for you. So if you want to connect WhatsApp, you want to connect Discord, you want to grab Telegram to talk to your customers, one channel is included in the either Glitch Assist or the agency account. But if you want extra ones connected and you want to have those all connected to your workflows and everything like that, and you want it to be sorted, then those are $1,750 each to connect. Or if you're like, hey, I want all three, we give you a 15% off bundle price if you want all three options available to your customers. Again, that's separate from you talking to Glitch. And then Custom Connect, if you have a API tool that you don't see listed there, and you're like, hey, I need a bridge build, or I need an NCP build for this custom tool that I have that I want to use with Glitch, we can meet with you and we can determine whether or not that's something we can do. And if it is, those start at about $995 to build you that custom bridge. But yeah, it's a really great way to get your business to the next level. And this isn't something where you just set it, walk away. This is something where you're going to be more involved with your business, because Glitch is going to stalk you basically and make you be more involved with your business.
And I think that's the whole idea, right? You have to stay involved consistently in order to see the type of results that you want. But at the same time, you're running the business. You want more time to be able to spend for the things that are important to you, for family. And I think this is a great way to it. This is a great bridge to making that happen, where you are engaged with your business full time with this tool that allows you to do that and have access to it from anywhere, and getting the things that you need done from anywhere with a simple as a message, and also allowing you the time that you need for the things that are important for you. So this is a great bridge to making that happen, and I think it's just incredible. Put it like that. It's just I think it's going to be a game changer once people start implementing it, once people get acclimated to it and start using it more and more. I think they'll see the difference from themselves and be impressed with why we didn't put this together earlier.
Right. And there is no long-term commitment. You can cancel anytime. So if Glitch isn't for you, let's say you sign up, Glitch is not for you, and you want to cancel, then you can cancel at any point. We're not going to hold you to Glitch for, 27 years or anything like that. I'm confident that once you start using Glitch, you're going to love Glitch, and you're going to, like you said, wish we had Glitch sooner. But for whatever reason, say Glitch isn't for you, you can cancel anytime. We're not going to keep somebody here that does not, want to use Glitch. But I have a sneaking suspicion that once people start using it and see how amazing it is, not only are they going to use it, they're going to actually want to tell more people about it and have them start using Glitch as well.
Absolutely. I think it's a way to go. So let's do it. Let's make it happen. I'm excited. We put this together over the past few months. There's a lot of trials, a lot of in and out, a lot of work that you put behind the scenes to getting this thing done, and we're finally here. We're still in the beta testings, but now we're making it available to anyone and everyone, and it's just amazing because we we've talked to a number of people over the past 2 years. We put a lot of work in so many different areas, and especially understanding the platform, understanding the people that are using these type of platforms, and we look at ourselves, we look at our business. Why are we not doing? Why are we not doing it? And we came up with a solution for that, and a solution that we think is going to help everybody else along the way. And this is what we put together. And in the same capacity of when we started the podcast, we surfaced around the idea of, should we do the podcast? And we did. We went live with it, and we surfaced with the idea of this. Should we put this together? And we did. So I'm excited for us, and I'm excited to share what we put together here with everyone. So can't wait to see where this goes, and to see the result that people have once they start implementing it. I want to hear those testimonials. I'm excited for that. So,
And you can get Glitch now. Just go to www.agents.realtalkha.com, and then you can apply for beta testing pricing. Again, that'll be for your first 2 months. You get the beta testing pricing and get to experience Glitch before anybody else.
and we're gonna have that beta testing price until when?
I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking it's probably going to be I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't want to give a date yet of when the beta pricing is going to go away, but I know it's not going to be for too long because we're pretty much at the end stages of testing. What we're mainly looking for is different industries. I'm looking for different industries so that we can make sure we're covered as far as like having a multitude of things that Glitch can do. So I guess as soon as I feel like we have enough Glitch users in different various industries, then we're good. So I don't want to I don't want to short sell it, but I also don't want to promise it forever when it's not going to be there forever.
Absolutely. So if you're thinking about it, if you just hear about this and you want to hear more about it, let us know. Send us a message. We're happy to dive into any details with you, and again, guide you through the whole process. So take advantage. It's a great opportunity, great deal. It's a great tool that is going to make a significant change in your business and in your life overall. I think is once you take a lot of the stress out of your business, of things that you are consistently not getting done because you can't find the time for it, I think you're going to start seeing a change in yourself, in your business, in the way you operate, and I think the people around you will eventually see that as well. So let's go. Let's make it happen.
Let's go. And we went way over today, but that is okay because we were talking about Glitch and trying to help other companies. So any last minute thoughts on the race before we wrap this up?
Just excited. I'm happy. I'm happy for us that we put this together, that we decided to move forward. And that we're here today sharing it with everybody, and for them to see what we put together. I think this is. I may not show as excited as I say I am, but that's usually me. I'm just blessed for the opportunity to share this with everybody else because it has taken a lot of work. It has taken a lot of time and a lot of sacrifices in so many other areas that people don't see. But that's what it takes to build something great, and we have built something great here, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So.
And we had a few glitches in the show, pun intended, but happy accidents because it, like you had said, it showed the safety guards in real time working. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for next Tuesday to see more about Glitch and for us to get him back on the podcast and get things going, moving along. So come on, join us.
Join us and hit the link below to get your own Glitch and get started. And we will see you guys on the next one.